man. This guy wasn't really highly recruited coming out of high school. I think I seen a story where his mom was down there when he graduated. It was a big deal, and now he has an opportunity to go play college. I mean, in the NFL, and realize his dream. But he also got his degree from Clemson. And to hear Coach Sweeney talk to the players, every year he allows the former players to come in for a cookout. And man, I'm down there with my notepad because some of the things he says, man, I actually take that and I tell my class that, at the first day of school, I use a lot of Coach Sweeney quotes, a lot of the posters that they put up around the facility. I take pictures, and I hope I'm not copywriting that's infringing. But I take those pictures, man, and I hang them up in the classroom. And the kids really love that. But just to hear him do it the right way, and it's refreshing to hear because for so long you see these TV shows and you see these programs getting in trouble where guys are getting arrested and guys are, they're downtown not doing the right things. But to
Yeah.
see Coach Sweeney, handling things. And just think about this, going into the national championships a couple of years back, he had a top player that kind of got into some trouble, and he suspended that player for the national championship game. Talk about practice what you're preaching. I mean, any other place they would have said this is no time to be teaching no lesson, but Coach Sweeney said this is the exact time to teach a lesson. And so, that player ended up going on to the NFL, but they learn these valuable lessons as men to see him develop those young guys like that.
Robert Carswell. Robert, man, we don't talk enough, buddy. We got to get you back on the show more frequently. Keep up the great work. I know you're changing lives and making a difference, man. It's really awesome to have you on the show.
Man, I appreciate it, Lawton, man, and we definitely got to get up. Sounds good. I love to come back.
We hit a quick break and come back with more of the show that shakes the Southland. Man, what a great opportunity to chat with Carswell. Just a jam-up guy, and I think a young man who, sadly, at this point, some people may have forgotten. And a lot of young kids don't know who he is. And he was a Playboy All-American when that was a pretty big deal in sports. When being a Playboy All-American was a big deal. A heck of a football player at Tiger Town. Never will forget seeing that number 9 there on the back end of Clemson's secondary, Robert Carswell. We'll hit a quick break and appreciate everybody for hanging along with us. I did get the video up. That's a thumbs up. And I do think that after discussions with my thought process, we'll be able to take calls in the next couple of days. Stay with us.
100 wants to help with a chance at $1,000. Text the nationwide keyword HOME to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's HOME to 200-200.
Now, Columbia's most dependable traffic, sponsored by Pope Davis Tire and Automotive, home of the best tire prices in Columbia, guaranteed.
Fox Sports Radio 1400 traffic.
Traffic tie-ups this afternoon include I-26 westbound near the 378 exit. Also an accident, Garner's Ferry at Rabbit Run. I'm Rob Sanders. You can reach out to me on the 103.5 FM WVOC traffic tip line 343-1055.
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
The CDC recommends cleaning the hard and soft surfaces in your home to lower the spread of viruses. Zero Res is committed to help. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $119 and a complimentary cleaning and disinfecting of common touch surfaces. Visit ZeroResColumbia.com.
The Home Service Club sponsors this paid advertisement. Attention homeowners. Broken AC, $4,600. Water heater, $1,500. Fridge on the fridge, $1,000. You need home warranty coverage from the Home Service Club. For around $1 a day, if any of your covered appliances and systems break down, HSC will either do the repair or replace them. HSC has over 15,000 pre-screened, highly rated technicians with the fastest response time in the industry. HSC provides coverage for up to 47 different appliances and systems in your home. Call for a free, no-obligation quote from a trusted HSC service specialist about a home warranty for your entire home, all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. 800-930-2350. Call now and get your first month free, plus $75 off your first year. 800-930-2350. 800-930-2350. That's 800-930-2350. 800-930-2350.
Tiger fans, look no further than the Tiger Sports Shop in Clemson for all your game day needs. Since 1974, they've brought you everything Clemson for the Clemson fan. With quality brands such as Nike, Antigua, Cutter & Buck, and Champion, plus many more. From hats to t-shirts to tailgate, the Tiger Sports Shop has all the Clemson gear a true Tiger fan needs. With 2 convenient game day locations in Tigertown, shop where I shop at Dr. I.M. Ibrahim's Tiger Sports Shop. They fuel the passion of Tiger fans everywhere. Check them out online, tigersports.com.
Dad, this is fun. I didn't think I'd like kayaking.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, but I think it's time to head back in.
Okay. Can we come back?
Sure.
Tomorrow?
Let's check with Mom. Hey, be careful getting out of the boat.
It's a kayak, Dad.
I'm gonna return the kayak. Just make sure you have everything.
Yep. Can we walk home?
How about a taxi? 233 North Maple, please.
It's a short fare from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Also, find fun activities to do like boating and biking or camping and hiking, plus much more. It's all right in your naturehood.
Best day ever.
A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
Looking for South Carolina's favorite country? You'll find it at 97.5 WCOS.
It is the show that shakes the Southland. Lawton Swan with you, and got the video rocking and rolling. I know we dipped the stream for a minute, but we're also working with the folks over at Restream as well to get the chat room up and going. So hopefully that all square up and we'll be good, you know? Oh, you know what? Or if not, oh well. But glad to be with you here on the show that shakes the Southland. That Robert Carswell interview, so good. Just an ambassador for Clemson. And again, I hesitate to think about the number of people who forgot about his career, don't recognize him for how good he was, and the fact that he was a kid that was not just committed to the athletic side of things, but the academic side of things, and came back and got his degree, and now really just making a difference. You can't put a price on that. You honestly can't. You can be a part of the program by texting us 803-450-0086, 803-450-0086. Again, the biggest news out of Tigertown, I guess, over the past 24 hours or so is the decommitment of Corey Foreman, the top-rated defensive end and the top-rated prospect in the 2021 class out of Centennial High School in California. And the questions that have now abound over the past 24 hours of, will he or won't he end up at Clemson? Will he end up at Oregon, Southern Cal, obviously Alabama trying to get into the mix with the top-rated player in the country. And I want to send anybody who has serious hesitations and reservations and concerns to yesterday's podcast, as I kind of laid it out there for you. And I think the other thing that you want to understand is something I mentioned in that interview with Robert Carswell. And this is not a circumstance where saying this means that this young man will or won't either way. But you want guys who are 110% committed to what you're doing. That's what you want. That's the end goal. Because when you go through a situation like we are right now with the COVID-19, and your players are away, you got to have accountability. You got to have guys who are going to put in the work and do the little things. And let me tell you who isn't accountable. Let me tell you who doesn't do those things. It's people that aren't 100% invested. If you own a business, you know that's the hardest thing to figure out. How do you get people to give their all and to want success for you and the business that they're working for as much as they want it for themselves, as much as you want it for the business and yourself? How do you merge those two things? It's extremely difficult. People often feel undervalued. People often feel underpaid. And that's why you see the dynamics that exist in some major corporations. And look, if you're a small business owner, this might be a thing that's very hard to understand, or scratch that, reverse it, very hard to achieve. And that is a level of, it's not control, right? It's trust, it's engagement, it's investment. It's everything that you want to see put into something to make sure that what comes out is even greater than what's being put in. Then people are excited, people are successful, people are working harder. And how you go about doing that, when you look at some of the best and most successful businesses, a lot of times it's honestly more of a, not a quote laid back approach, but it is an approach where there is freedom, there is trust, you listen more than you talk. And in the circumstances of what Clemson's doing with the way they've built their program, it is about building the players, developing them outside of the field, and making them believe in themselves more than maybe they ever have, and in what they can achieve, and not with a pompous attitude of how great you are in sports, but more so how valuable you are and you can be to society, given the opportunity you have. I think Dabo Swinney's quote of "Let the light that shines in you be brighter than the light that shines on you" speaks volumes about that. And from the standpoint of a player who's in high school trying to decide what he wants to do, that is a perfectly normal situation, even if you've been committed. Even if you said, you know what, I'm committed. How many of you married your first girlfriend? Not many. I'm sure some of you did. Some of you did. You know what? There are players at Clemson right now that committed to Clemson and say, you know what, this is it. This is where I want to be. But sometimes people want to look elsewhere. Sometimes they want to see what they might miss. And selfishly, to a degree, but not a bad degree, I don't think. Selfishly, and I think a lot of you would do this if you knew you could get a free flight across the country, as I said yesterday, to go see a game at Oregon, you might do it. You go see a game at Alabama, you might do it. Others will say, no, I'm going to Clemson. But what we have to allow is for this young man to decide, is this what he wants to do? And that's Dabo Swinney's mindset on it. If it's to come to Clemson, they want him all in. They want him 100%. They want him 110%. They don't want to have to worry about anything else moving forward. And if you can mitigate that by allowing this kid now to go do the things he wants to do and look around, that's fine. To believe that this is bad for Clemson, you don't have to believe that at all. I wouldn't. I don't. I think it's definitely a hit to the class right now. And if he goes somewhere else, it's not the end of the program. So for me, I've gone at it with the approach of, this is a young man who wants to take a look around, and it's not a big deal. Stay with us.
Small businesses across the country are facing new challenges during the COVID-19 pandemic. So to help, we've put together the iHeart Small Business Crisis Resource, which has critical information, including links to federal and state resources providing businesses with stimulus loans, grants, and other financial aid. We also shine a spotlight on small businesses doing good right now. Visit smallbusinesscrisisresource.com to learn more. That's smallbusinesscrisisresource.com, because your small business is big to us.
We can all help stop the spread of germs and prevent the spread of respiratory viruses like COVID-19 and the flu. Wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. Avoid touching your face with unwashed hands. Avoid skin-to-skin contact with other people. Stay home and away from others while you're sick. Cover your mouth and nose when coughing or sneezing. And finally, clean frequently touched objects and surfaces. For more information, visit scdhec.gov/COVID-19.
When a community grows, its hospital should grow too. And that's just what we're doing at Lexington Medical Center. We recently launched the largest hospital expansion project in South Carolina history. Our new 10-story patient tower will help us take better care of patients, including the tiniest infants who need special attention. It will also make room for the growing number of patients who need surgery and intensive care. At Lexington Medical Center, our mission to serve our community never wavers. We're here when you need us today, and we'll be there when you need us tomorrow.
Live from the $1,500 instant rebate AAA Heating and Air Weather Center.
Tonight, the skies stay clear and the lows dip down to either side of 50. Tomorrow, few afternoon clouds and highs mid-70s. For Channel 25 ABC Columbia, I'm Chief Meteorologist John Farley.
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
The free iHeart Radio app. Always here when you want to stay connected or need to be informed, with thousands of live radio stations, so you know the very latest. iHeart Radio also has entertainment for you and the entire family. Disney Radio, Kids Bop playlists, playlists for family time, plus podcasts like Wow in the World from NPR and Story Pirates. Get it all on your phone, computer, smart speakers, and more. Over 250 different devices. Here when you need us and always free. Download the iHeart Radio app now.
Not on my watch, our military service members say, as they volunteer to serve. Not on my watch, they say, as they leave their families behind to keep the rest of ours safe. As they move out, stand firm, and take fire. So not on our watch, we say, to the severely ill or injured veterans who can't get the care they deserve, the therapists they need to walk again, the treatment they need to talk again, the lifetime of day-to-day help they need to live full and independent lives. When there's no more government funding, or a nursing home seems like the only option, or everyone says there's no hope for recovery, we won't leave one warrior behind. Not on our watch. Find out how you can do your part at findwwp.org.
Sensory sensitivity, repetitious behavior, lack of eye contact. You can see signs of autism in children as young as 18 months. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Until that stimulus check arrives, you mind sharing your mac and cheese? Fox Sports Radio 1400. We'll bring the ramen.
Clemson sports talk, a little positive K in the background, Swanee in the foreground, and thanking you for being a part of this show. If you did not know about it, welcome. We're trying some new things, diving in. Now we're doing the show back from home, not over at iHeart, at the iHeart Studios, the palatial iHeart Studios, 316 Greystone Boulevard. The show also heard not only in the Midlands, but also heard in Florence, over in the PD and the Low Country in Manning. So we're on Sports Radio 100.1 The Fan in Florence, 9:20 a.m. in Manning. Man, that has been a great, great opportunity for us over there. And I don't know if hour number 1 is going to be there for them or not, because we did have some issues, but over in the distribution to Atlanta, etc. But all that being said, we are thankful to be with you today. The text line below us, you can hit us up on Twitter at Clemson Sports. I know if Mac's checking out the program, he's like, Swanee, why can't I call? Mac, we're working on it, man. You may have actually given us the idea that we need to get calls in on the show now. So I'm excited about that, honestly. But again, back to the Corey Foreman thing briefly. Don't sweat it, man. You got bigger fish to fry. You got this, man. Spend some time with your family. These people I found out I live with, they're pretty awesome. I had no idea they were here. It's one of those things now with the COVID-19 deal. We kind of talked about this a little bit. It's really slowed things down, and I think that's been a positive. I think that has really been a positive. I did see an article the other day that caught my attention, because one of the things I've talked about quite a bit here on the program is budget issues. And budget issues maybe at Clemson, and would you see a reduction in salary for Clemson staff? And, one of the things that really, in my opinion, started to make that come closer to being a reality was the fact that Boise State's coaches will take furloughs. And we've seen other coaches take voluntary reductions in salary. And I've said since the get-go of this issue that I thought Clemson specifically, there's two fronts on this for me. Front number one is your big-time donors are, there's a percentage of them that are feeling the brunt of this. The businesses that they own, the things that they operate are taking a financial hit, which means those people are taking a financial hit. And some of those people who are big money donors may even have been furloughed or may have even taken their own salary reductions. Where it gets hard for a coach, I think, is when you're the guy making $8 million a year, $9 million a year. Now, I think that, again, you should never count another man's money, but their salaries are so huge that when other people are affected, if you don't do something from that standpoint, and again, you can have tremendous amounts of generosity and you can give away money left and right, but people's minds see you giving out money much differently than you taking less. And I know that it can be the same thing. Dabo Swinney today could have announced that he's donating $1 million to some food program, and people go, man, that is awesome. But there's a significant difference in having the ability, in my opinion, and I think probably in yours, to give stuff away than to say I'm taking less. And I know it's essentially the same, but there's a huge benefit to being somebody that gives away versus taking less. And so I think when you take less, you're saying, I'm with you. I'm in the same boat as you. We're rowing in the same direction. So then you can go around and it's easier to tell guys who just were in the same situation, hey, look, coach is taking $1 million salary hit. He's done that willingly, but we still need you to support. We need your IPTE money. We need you to come in, because that's got to be a conversation you're going to have. There was an article in, I believe it was Bloomberg, that kind of talked about this and talked about Clemson. And again, it's a smaller program. It's a smaller fan base, smaller support base. And they're at the top of college football, and a lot of you have spent a ton of money to go to these events. And they still got to have your money to come in to support. And so there were some numbers that were in this article that I want to bring to you real quick, and I hope I can get them in before the break, and if not, we'll finish the show with this. But according to this article, at the most optimistic, Clemson sees its revenue drop by about $7.5 million, which they label as a manageable hit on a sports budget that blossomed to about $132 million a year ago. But if there is a disrupted college football season, that's where you could begin to see some things really be affected. Graham Neff, who's Clemson's deputy athletic director and rising star in the athletic director business, by the way, said football is such a big driver of revenue, and certainly without it, our operations are totally different. But the earth has come out of the ice age. It will be all about bridging that gap to the next year. Clemson's fiscal year, according to the article, starts with budgeting for the 2021 season this summer. And all of that's going on right now. So could you see a scenario where, you look back at 2014, Clemson made like $75 million in football, or in the athletic budget was about 80 million. Now it's almost up to 120 some odd million. You're talking about a budget that's gone up significantly. And Neff said that scenarios anticipate that there could be a 10% drop in donations. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. And there's a word that Graham Neff uses in this article that I think makes a lot of sense with what I just said. I'll tell you what that is when we get back.
Hey, Tiger fans, Don Munson here, voice of the Clemson Tigers, and I want you to know there is no better way to support your Tigers than by being a member of IPTAY. Memberships start at only $60 and provides critical support for our student athletes to be champions in the classroom and in athletic competition. Be a game changer and visit ClemsonTigers.com/IPTAY or call 1-800-CLEMSON to join IPTAY today.
Hi, I'm Alicia Kaufman-Quinton. My daddy, Billy Kaufman, opened Kaufman's Meat Plant at our present location in 1955. My family still works hard every day to ensure fresh quality cuts of beef, pork, and poultry. How about a tasty T-bone, ribeye, or New York strip steak? But to order at Kaufman's Meat Place. Just look for the signs near the intersection of US 1 and I-20 in Lexington. Call us at 356-0076 to place your order. Kaufman's Meat Place, when you want the very best your money can buy.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
You're bringing your daughter to her favorite pop star's concert. Do you A, wear earplugs?
Isn't this fun, Dad?
I'll have a soft pretzel.
B, remember the moment with matching concert t-shirts?
That's gonna be $180.
Or we can just take a photo.
C, show her how you used to do concerts.
We're going crowd surfing.
I can't. It's too heavy. Oh my God. Oh.
Or D, just roll with it.
Justin! OMG! He just looked. I love you, Justin! I love you!
When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers. But that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Our military service members volunteer to protect us in the most dangerous places around the world. They step up. And when they are severely ill or injured, returning to their families is only the beginning of their long road home. Beyond all the hospitals and doctors and surgeries they need just to survive, they also deserve whatever they need to truly live. All the in-home care and day-to-day help they need to live independently, on their own terms. Wounded Warrior Project long-term support programs were established to provide these brave men and women whatever they need to continue their fight for independence, at no cost, for life. So many of them need us, and it's time for a grateful nation to step up. Find out how you can do your part at findwwp.org.
People been saying
Know someone who's being bullied online? Send the witness emoji. It looks like an eye in a speech bubble, and it's in the symbol section near the clocks in your phone. You'll let the world know it isn't cool, and you'll let your friend know you care. Learn more about the witness emoji at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Fox Sports Radio 1400 wants to help with your bills. Listen to win $1,000 every day from 6 a.m. through 9 p.m.
What have you done for me lately? It's a fair question. Just don't lose sight of the bigger picture. Don't forget history. Lucky for us at Clemson, the answer to the questions, what have you done for me lately, and what have you done always, are the same. We win.
Final segment on the Wednesday edition of the program, Lawton Swan. We were talking about budgets, Clemson, sportstalk.com. That's your website, Clemson, sportstalk.com. We were talking about budgets just a few minutes ago and taking a look at this article from Bloomberg with Graham Neff. And you know, Clemson's got what Neff calls a control budget, which is apparently made for a world where the virus outlook improves and everything's kind of normal and you don't have a ton of changes. They said they would anticipate about a 10% drop in donations, ticket sales, and marketing revenue, and that would be about a $7.5 million hit. But they also have something they call, and I think this is important here, the sensitivity budget. And he said that that would be where they would assume a 20% reduction in main revenue sources, a drop of around $15 million, so sort of doubling that impact. But while other schools are having coaches furloughed and taking pay decreases, etc., and some of those being voluntary, and kudos to those coaches for doing that, Graham Neff says Clemson hasn't considered that yet. And I find it hard to believe that that won't be the case, but maybe we're going to come out of this thing okay, and the turnaround will be pretty significant. The NCAA's distributing 63% less money than they did previously because of the canceled March Madness tournament. That cost Clemson about $2 million, and there are some other things that are taking place that are going to reduce a lot of that. But what's amazing to me is when you look at Clemson's revenue and where those revenue streams come from. And so I would ask you right now, just as you're listening to this show, in your mind's eye, tell me where you think Clemson gets most of its money. Do you think it comes from media rights, marketing and licensing agreements, ticket sales, donations, or what's just kind of deemed as an other category? I think in my mind, if you ask me, I would say, I think they make a good bit off of tickets, but I don't think they make more off of tickets than they do off of donations. But if you said media rights, I would say, yeah, I think media rights is it, the clear cut. I think Clemson probably makes most of their money off of what they get from media. That's wrong. As a matter of fact, it is a big piece of the pie when it comes down to donations. Get this, $44.1 million. $44.1 million come in through donations, just compared to $28.7 million in tickets. Yeah, so they make about $16 million more, 15 and change more with donations than they do with tickets. Marketing is only $16.9 million. They only get $19.9 million from television and media rights. There's a $24.3 million, quote, other form. I'm not sure what other is. But if you think about that fact, that may be Clemson's biggest key to success to some degree and a sustainable success during this downturn is the fact that Neff mentions in the article that Clemson has a good amount, some $70 million in reserve that will help offset any or some of the potential damages moving forward. Now, as for game revenues, according to the article, and I didn't know this, according to the article, game cancellations and insurance policies based on that are generally held at the conference level, not at the institutional level. So Clemson wouldn't really have any way to recoup that value per se, if I kind of understand how that works. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but I would assume that's kind of how that goes down. Money would be going to the ACC, which they could redistribute if they chose to, but I just don't know. Neff said in the article, our hope is that college sports won't be the first sports to return to play, and that they'll be able to follow the lead of whether that's Major League Baseball, whether that's the NBA, etc. So some trying times for sure, and a budget that's going to have to be weighed. I do believe, though, that no matter how great Dabo Swinney is, I do believe personally some level of I'm taking less would entice people to give more when it's their turn to pull out their checkbook and write a check to IPTAY. That's, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that doesn't affect you. But I think to see your head coach step up and say, look, I know it's tough times for everybody, but I'm going to do what I can to save our program money, and we hope that in doing so, you will not necessarily feel compelled to give more. But heck, man, if I'm Dabo Swinney, not only am I taking less, and I believe he is Clemson's highest giver right now to IPTAY, if I might even take less, and I might write a big check to IPTAY and say, look, not only am I going to take less, but I'm going to give more. Win-win. Thank you all for being a part of the program. I hope you enjoyed Robert Carswell's interview. Don't forget, Tony Stockman going to be on the program tomorrow. I can't wait to catch up with him. It's been so long, and hear what he's got going on, man. He is the head coach over at Columbia International University, CIU, in Columbia. Should be great getting up with him. Incredibly, the 2 hours, man, they fly by in a blink. But that's why we're here for you every single day. We hope to get better and better with this Restream program we're using. We hope to get better and better with the video content, etc., so you can be a part of the program. But take some time, please, and go to ClemsonSportsTalk.com and consider becoming a subscriber to our website. Just $63.17. That's right, $63.17 for an entire year. Until tomorrow, as always, y'all take care now, and go Tigers!
Clemson Sports Talk with Lawton Swan on Columbia's home for sports, Fox Sports Radio 1400. Now, Columbia's most dependable traffic, sponsored by Pope Davis Tire and Automotive, home of the best tire prices in Columbia, guaranteed. Fox Sports Radio 1400 traffic.
Look out for a tie-up I-26 westbound near the Peak exit. Other accidents include Garner's Ferry at Rabbit Run and I-26 westbound near the Dixiana exit.